Alright, I just finished Can't Stop, Won't Stop by Jeff Chang, published in 2008, A History of the Hip Hop Generation. There's a lot going on in this book. It's more than just learning about old tracks and reminiscing about them, or learning about old music for the first time. You could look up, they do mention quite a few musical albums that did come out that I've been able to look up on YouTube, like Dr. Dre. I was able to learn about DJ Kool Herc and his rival Grandmaster Flash. Learn about the NWA, and there's that movie that came out, Straight Outta Compton. You'll get some references to that, and that was a time in the '90s where really with the deregulation of the radios, were like Clear Channel, and a lot of big corporations were able to buy up the small radio stations. Was happening, and yeah, there was a lot of competition throughout the '90s, and yeah, people were pretty aggressive with each other, but it didn't start out aggressive. Okay, with DJ Kool Herc, who the guy's still alive. He was inducted into like a rock and roll Hall of Fame a few years ago, but he started it in the early '70s, and they talk about it. It's how he used to hold these parties. See, the sound system wasn't always around. It's like my grandma, who's dead now, but she remembers when they'd go to live concert types of settings. She'd roller skate or go to a dance hall where there was actually live band members playing real instruments, but that got pushed aside in favor of speakers, in favor of sound systems. And DJ Kool Herc in the Bronx took advantage of that. He started playing around with it, with mixing albums and stuff, and created like a kind of a dance hall outdoors. It sounds like he was able to plug into some electricity source for free, and put together big speakers, piling speakers up, and just making dance music. But that's talking about his history. He kind of started it, but there's other things, other forms of this culture, of the hip-hop culture, that started a little bit before that, and some started a little bit later. Like, they refer to graffiti, they refer to gangs. There's the social aspect, there's a particular dance that's involved, there's a particular kind of music. And it's interesting, and there's a lot of crime, a lot of problems. Say, like, he talks about, this book is so thick, he talks about so much, but he talks a lot about politics and cops and the social movements, because they did influence how this hip-hop generation changed. They had to deal with the cops. The cops were wondering, what are these people doing? Spinning on their heads, can we make that a crime? What are these gangs getting together, forming these parties with this loud music? Are they plotting against the city government or the cops or something? They started a lot of laws against the youth from gathering up together. They put curfews out, and just various types of rules against the youth. Because as the baby boomers are getting older, baby boomers for a period of time were young and they wanted the freedom, but then as they got older, they wanted to control their kids. So the rules and laws changed as the baby boomers aged. They got more favor. I mean, they were able to drink at 18, and then after most of them went through their young period of that drinking, the age bumped back up to 21. Yeah, there's so much to go over with the history of the hip hop generation. It's really fascinating. I put WordPress on my blog. I went through each one of these pages that kind of stood out because it's kind of a put down book. It wasn't really enthralling, but there were parts that were amazing, and I recorded just some. I repeated some interesting statements about the nature of hip hop and how it's changing, and have some videos up too that are interesting. But yeah, it's a good book.